to the position of President, Chief Executive Officer of the corporation. We have some time sensitivities, and we also like to deal with the public. We've had the opportunity, we have the President CEO vacancy here at the operating corporation. Candidate, Mr. Indelicato, has been identified. We would like to move towards permanency in order to move the corporation and other areas involving the Roosevelt Island forward. And this time, we'd like to take a vote on Ms. Indelicato. We're open for discussion.
Could you all speak a little louder, please?
Well, first, I would like to discuss the possibility that since the board voted on the record as a matter of public policy that we would conduct a formal search, and that was completely disregarded, that we consider appointing her as the interim president of the corporation, and that we conduct a search, and pending the result of that search, we appoint her if we decide she's the best candidate. Any discussion?
Michael, I actually thought about that after you mentioned it earlier, and I don't think that's doable since she has a full-time job right now, so she wouldn't.
We would not be in that position right now if the public policy item that was approved by this board had been executed on.
I recognize that, but I think we can ask her to leave the job she's at now to come here temporarily to maybe get it permanently.
I think, first, we did have the pleasure of meeting Ms. Indelicato. I believe she is an excellent candidate. I believe she would probably be very good for the organization. I have some very strong objections as to ways the candidate brought forth completely transparent to the community and in violation of this board's directives to do so.
I think it's unfortunate that we've reached this pass. We've had the president resign back in September. 6 months have passed, and we had a vacancy in vice president of operations effectively since December. We have 2 officers of the corporation. We have Don Lewis, who's acting president, general counsel, Steve Chironis, CFO, who have struggled and managed to keep the corporation on course during this interval and have done an exceptional job in my view. However, we need to have populated our executive staff, fill missing staff vacancies, and it's been unconscionable that the state apparatus, knowing our need, moves so slowly. That being said, I for one find myself on the balance point between those concerns that are, we learned in our director's training, those concerns that we heard about and studied in the enabling legislation, where it's our direct responsibility, balanced with the fiduciary responsibilities and needs that we have as directors to support the organization in accomplishing its mission, to support the staff in their jobs in accomplishing this mission. And with difficulty, with great difficulty, I'm going to move this forward.
Vote her down.
I'll second it.
Vote her down.
Chairman Towns?
Aye.
Mr. Kendall?
Aye.
Ms. Christian?
Aye.
Dr. Grimm?
I would just
if I could make a comment along with Howard Pollaby, that I'm disappointed that there wasn't an executive search with proper references being checked. You know, I've been burned in the past in hiring people when references haven't been adequately checked, and that's a disappointment to me personally. On the other hand, I fully empathize with what Mr. Pollaby said about there being a great need for leadership in RIOC. I think Don and Steve have done a wonderful job, but it's been a big problem. And I think under these circumstances, I heard some things on the way in the subway here today, coming to this meeting, that disturbed me, and I feel obliged to abstain.
Mr. Crowe.
We explained to the Governor's Secretary, no uncertain terms, as long ago as October, with a vital need to be present as soon as possible. The ball is very much in their court, and they did not act. They let us down. So we have no choice but to form our own search committee. And then there came action from the Governor's office. And they presented us, fortunately, a perfectly viable candidate, but I share fellow board members' reserve at the way the process has moved forward. I agree with Howard's position essentially, but I also recognize that we need a president. Now, we have needed a president for some time, and a very viable candidate has been offered to us. I would also like to thank Don for stepping up as an interim president. He did a fantastic job under circumstances that helped Steve. Having said that, I vote aye.
Stand up for yourselves.
Mr. Pollaby? Aye. Mr. Shanzaki?
Abstain. Objection.
Ms. Smith?
I was debating, obviously yes was never an option because of this process. I think this board would, I've said many times, would not buy a lawnmower without 3 bids. I think it's really unconscionable to hire someone to run this organization without having interviewed at least 3 candidates. So I was going to vote no, but then I looked up no and abstention, and no means no for the issue, and abstention means you don't want to participate in the process. That's exactly how I feel. I do believe that Ms. Indelicato has the background. She has been a city manager. She has done a lot of the kinds of things that we need her to do here. So I'm looking forward to working with her, but I cannot participate in the process, so I'm abstaining.
Okay, the vote is carried 5 yeas and 3 abstentions, so the resolution is adopted.
Item 1, authorization